I give everybody an update on our weather chances. And notice I haven't really used the word severe yet for our area, but we'll get into that in a second. But just want to update everyone on what we can expect during overnight hours. And first and foremost, let's go to the current conditions here. All right. So this is at my house, of course, almost 78 degrees. Fairly humid for this time of year, middle of March, dew point 63. So very humid, a lot of juice in the air. And while it's very humid outside, we will talk about why that might not really matter much when it comes to our chances for seeing severe weather. So with that, let's just get on out to West Texas. That is where most of the action is going to be. And actually, before we talk about their chances, let's go to the radar. So I wanted to start here because this is where all the action is taking place right now. And as you can see, this is just in the Amarillo area and several tornado warnings already for that area. And so they're in for a rough afternoon. I think that they will see quite a few tornadoes. And unfortunately for them, probably some long track intense tornadoes. That's probably a little too far there. Let's do this. Okay, so we'll put this in motion. And you can see the red boxes are tornado warnings. And there's been a few already. I haven't seen anything on the ground as of yet, but I'm pretty sure that will change pretty quick. Hello, Christy. How are you? Let's see. Driving into this storm from the west. Are you really? Oh, my goodness. Wow. Be careful. So it's, getting pretty active out there. Now, I wanted to show this because, for a couple of reasons today. One is that this is really the start of our spring severe weather season. So this is going to be more and more of a common occurrence. Now, thankfully, I'm not coming to you live right now. And, we have this immediate threat for the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. So thankfully, that's not the case. And I'll talk about that in a second. But really, this particular system won't really affect us much at all, at least from a severe weather standpoint. At least that's the thinking now. This is spring. It can change. But so that kind of gives you an idea of what's going on out in West Texas. And, well, that's not going to work. Let's scoot over here. Let's see if I can zoom in on this a little bit more. Okay, so I'm going to stop this. And, you can see right here, this particular cell is a nasty one right there. That's probably got some big old hail in it. So let's put the velocity on here. And yeah, you can definitely see some change in wind direction right here. So that's probably why they got the tornado going. And then, of course, on this side, you see this pink and even some purple there, big size hail. That's what West Texas is known for, unfortunately. Okay, Christy. Oh, my gosh, west of Dalhart. All right, I'm going to scoot up for you. Let's see if I can get up that way here. I'm going to get rid of the split screen here. See if you make a comment. I'll do a personalized weather report for you. Okay, so Dalhart's right here, of course. So you're just west of Dalhart. Yeah, so Christy, I'm assuming you're gonna take Dalhart and go south. So I'm gonna put that in motion for you. And so you're definitely gonna go through some of that. Just be careful. A lot of hail in there, as you can see, a lot of lightning strikes. So just be careful, my friend. Just if you have to pull over, pull over. Although I'm not going to lie, I kind of a little bit jealous. I kind of wish I was out there with you. Okay, but be careful. Drove through the blizzard in Colorado. Yes, man, you're just getting all the extremes today. Again, I'm very jealous. So, okay, so let's look at the bigger picture here on what we can expect in the short term for us overnight. So, as you can see, this is what the Storm Prediction Center puts out, and again, there's 5 categories of severe outlooks: marginal, slight, enhanced, moderate, and high. You don't see the high category very often, but the moderate you don't see very often either. So you see that in the eastern Texas Panhandle, east of Amarillo. Really, that's where we're expecting some long track tornadoes. And again, not good news for them. So if we kind of move over to the tornado graphic, you could see there that there's a 15% chance of that. Now, that doesn't sound very much like a big deal, 15%, but you have to remember that's 15% of a normal situation, which again, most of the time, any one space and time, the chances of, like today right here in Dallas-Fort Worth, the chances of seeing a tornado are basically zero. And then to up that to 15%, that's quite a leap. So they're definitely in for a rough time out there, I should say. The wind damage potential, again, as you can imagine, very high, 30%, even higher for the wind potential. And the black hatch is a significant wind threat. And again, this is great live internet. It updates on me. So it's a big deal out there, the wind potential. And as you can imagine, the hail potential is really high out there at 30%. And again, the hatched is a significant chance. So they're going to see some rough weather out there. Now, what does that mean for us? Well, in a typical situation, we would see these storms form out in West Texas and move east toward us, and that happens all the time. And the path of this particular upper level storm would do that, and it's still going to do that. But what can we do? What's it going to mean for us? And Elizabeth. I got to read Alyssa's comment. Dude, can we make it bad enough that insurance will cover a new fence? Boy, Elizabeth, that's actually a good question. To be an insurance guy myself, not with this storm system, so you're going to have to wait a little bit longer. But believe me, there'll be plenty of chances other severe storm systems will roll through our area. And just a quick caveat on that, we have seen some interesting severe weather seasons after La Niñas. And so our last La Niña was 2011. And we can all, if you've been around here, you can all remember what happened around here. Not 2016, but 2011. We had some significant hailstorms in North Texas that year. Now, was it directly because of La Niña? Who knows? But we are coming out of a La Niña year, so who knows? We might have a repeat. Let's hope not. With all our winter weather we've gone through, it's that would be quite the weather year to go through. So Elizabeth, not this storm, but maybe the next one. All right. So again, what does that mean for us? I'm going to show you a couple of models here, and so this is what we call it measures CAVE, and that's convective available potential energy. That's what that stands for. And so that's just a real fancy way of saying is what's the convective energy available instability, maybe another way to look at it, for thunderstorms to tap into. So, you start with the white, which means there's basically none. And then you get into the darker colors and then you get to the brighter colors. And that means there's just a lot of convective available potential energy to tap into. So as you can imagine, not a shock, in the panhandle, you see those dark orange colors, yellow colors, ton of energy to tap into. So that's why they're having a rough day of it. Now, so what does that mean for us? So if we put a couple of these slides in motion over time, as we go into the afternoon and evening hours, look at that, boy, the convective available potential energy kind of evaporates over us. And so this is overnights tonight. So that's your first clue about what you're going to expect here. Now, if we look at a radar depiction, this is actually maybe it's probably about 4 o'clock this afternoon. So it's a radar simulation. It's not the actual radar. So we put this in motion. You can kind of see, this line gets wet east of Amarillo, Lubbock. It's going to form into a line out Abilene way. You'll see a lot of, quite a few storms. I don't think you'll see the tornadic threat there, but you will see some high wind threat with the squall line. But you keep putting this in motion, and boy, look at that. It kind of wimps out over Dallas-Fort Worth. Which now, don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that because that available energy is not really going to be available for us, then that's why you're going to see these storms kind of peter out. And there's a decent chance, and we get through Sunday morning. So there's a decent chance that really we won't see any rain here at all. I mean, we may see a little bit, but not much. So this is not a situation to where we're going to see these storms in West Texas, they're already blowing up, but where they blow up and then they just move on through and we get all the bad stuff too. Just not going to be that way. Now, that's not to say that, this model may be underdoing it a little bit. But again, the point is we just don't see the severe storms that are going to be in West Texas have enough punch, if you will, enough energy to maintain themselves all the way through to Dallas-Fort Worth. Like I said, it might rain, but I don't think we're going to see the storms. Okay, so with that, let's go back to the radar one more time and get a little bit bigger picture on what is going out in West Texas. And let's see, David. Rupert's watching my stream. Well, they might be. They'd be smart if they did. And you have 900 joules per kilogram in your brain. My goodness, you need to put that to good use, David. And so anyway, so again, the good news is we won't see this type of radar presentation in Dallas Fort Worth. The bad news is those guys out in West Texas are. So we see 3 tornado warnings right now, and again, I imagine that. Yeah, boy. Okay, so just a real quick, you can see this right here. And I'll take that off for a second. You can see this almost this the swirl starting to happen. So you can definitely tell that there's probably a tornado on the ground on that one. So again, they're getting hit out there. All right. So let's see. So Christy, if you're still listening, let's see, put you. Yeah. So your storms, the big bad storms for you, if you're going to take, I don't know if you're going to take 385 south, but if you are, then the storms right now are south of Hartley, southwest of Dumas. So you'll probably definitely run into that. And yeah, David, tennis ball. They're probably seeing some of that. Okay, so let's zoom this out one last time here. If I get my mouse to work. So you can see that these storms are starting to get serious. And I am going to look at the Lubbock radar here real quick. Yeah, I'm starting to see some storms out that way. I know my good buddy Wendy Williams is out there this weekend. So Wendy, if you're listening, or if you watch this later, you'll have storms your way. You probably experienced some of that last night, so be careful. Be careful as well. Okay, so with that, that's really all I had today. So the bottom line is that we'll definitely see a rough day out in West Texas. You'll hear a lot about that. Sadly, I'm sure there'll be some damage out there. If you follow Storm Chasers online, you will not have any trouble getting some live feeds out there. That's just what the way we do it nowadays with the internet. So if you're looking for some action from the comfort of your living room, you will definitely get that. But like I said, moving into North Texas overnight, you won't be, we won't be seeing any of this. Okay, so let me look at some comments here real quick before I sign off. Okay, Beth, you missed the first part. Well, shame on you. No, I'm just kidding. What are the expectations for tonight? Okay, so that's a good point. So I'll say that again. So actually, what I'll do is I will put up. Let me put up my graphic here. That'll be a little bit better way. Yeah. Okay, Beth. So I'm going to back this up a little bit, and it's like, remember the movie Superman where he changed the Earth. He made time go backwards. That's what I just did. Okay, so again, Beth, so this is what we're going to see in West Texas late tonight and during the overnight hours. The expectation is that these storms will peter out. Heck, we may not even see any rain. So nothing really to worry about. I did want to come on today to kind of just explain it in more detail as opposed to just doing a written post, because you can only say so much in that. But it's like I said, we're not really expecting a whole lot overnight here, and it's another storm system that's coming Tuesday timeframe that might be a little different. But again, that's a little ways off. You're welcome, Christy. Again, safe travels. If you see something that I need to be aware of, shoot me a message. I'd love to see it. If you could take some pictures, that'd be awesome. But stay safe first and foremost, of course. Okay, with that, I'm watching the weather, so you don't have to. Again, nothing much to expect for us. So enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Does that mean you wouldn't see a sprinkle or anything? You might, but unless something really changes, this particular storm system severe weather episode will not really affect us. However, this is really our first major severe weather event of the season, and we will see many more. And unfortunately, we will see many more closer to our area. So we'll just have to be prepared for that. But as always, I'll be on top of it. Hope everyone has a great afternoon, and I will talk to you soon. Take care, everybody. And thanks for watching.